Good morning. Hopefully it comes through loud and clear. Hopefully. Yeah, it looks like it's come through my end. Obviously going to be no one watching so far because it's 9:30 in the morning and there'll be nobody here. So I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes and see if people come and join. Oh, got my hat round the wrong way, have I? I do. There it is. That looks better. No, let me try and move it left and it's going right because it's mirrored on the on the monitor. Right, like I said, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, see if people join. Howdy doody on this lovely Friday morning. I'm currently just working through stuff on the website, so I thought I'd jump on and if you guys want to chat, we can have a chat. Simple as that. Touch base with you. It's been a while, so I thought, why not? Let's just jump on and say hi. Hopefully you can hear me alright, see me alright, etc. Have I still got my music playing? Yeah, it's just got really quiet for some reason. Right, I can't remember what I was doing. Website! Wait, what? That's better. There we go. That's better. Can't see. Oh, for God's sake! Now I've moved my windows everywhere. So I'm trying. I've got two monitors. And I'm trying to organise where everything's going, but there's still not enough space, regardless of having two monitors. I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let's get rid of that window, and I will open a different one. Reorganising. Oh, we've got people watching. Hello, how's it going? So I was expecting no one to be here, so I'm just waffling to myself. Bear me a sec, I'm just like trying to organise my windows and make sure I can see everything going on and still do what I want to do. Go. How's it going then? Good morning. Been a long time no see. I can't even remember the last time I was on the channel. I mean, obviously I did our wedding video, which was back in October. Married now, yay. But before that, I don't know, it's been a long time, hasn't it? How's it going? You all had a good Christmas, good New Year's? So mine's been good, hectic, but very good. So I'm currently working on the website, and I thought I would just jump on and touch base with you guys, say hello. Can you hear me all right, by the way? Because I've got music going, but I'm not monitoring it. So is the music too loud, too quiet? Can you hear me okay? Am I too loud, too quiet? Anything like that, please let me know, all right? Rather let me know now. When we get, I've had this before, we get to the end and literally like I'm like the entire live stream I've sounded like crap and no one said a thing. So yeah, let me know if there's any issues. Do tell me. It looks alright on my end, but OBS is notoriously like not always that obvious to see where the issues are. So if you guys let me know how I sound, how the music sounds, can you even hear the music? Because I've got it down to quite low. Yeah, let me know. So I'll just show you, I am currently working on the website. So this is like the back end of the website. As you can see here, so you can kind of see how it gets built. And I thought, well, do you know, while I'm doing this, I thought I'd just touch base, have a chat, see who's online, answer any questions you guys might have. Obviously, you've got podcasts coming up on the 26th. And, you know, I thought you might want to know what's going on with the channel and stuff. I've kind of got a bit more of an idea. I know I did a post about a week or two ago saying that I wasn't sure what to do with this channel, and I've kind of come to a bit of a realization that I know what I want to do with it, but it's going to be a slight change, but actually it's almost going back to what it was before, but with one slight change. So if I mean, you can see on the screen at the moment, so this is the main page for the website. This is the back end of it. You can see there are 3 sections on the website. In fact, I might just show you the website, might be easier. Let's do that. Tazer Urbex. It's still called Tazer Urbex because that's just the domain name I have. So yeah, this is the home page that you can currently see, hopefully. And if you scroll down, you get this thing pop up, and there's Tazer Podcast, Tazer Urbex series, and Travel and Adventure. So these 3 things are things that I've hummed and hawed about for a long time about what I want to do. And obviously, I know, in my opinion, and not just my opinion, a lot of other people who are in the scene, Urbex is on a decline. It is dying. And it's dying not because it's an unpopular subject, and it's not dying because people aren't doing it anymore or rules have changed or anything like that. It's dying because there's too many people doing it, and that's kind of the point. There's, I mean, I know that we had a lot of criticism when I first started doing Tazer and doing the Urbex stuff, and a lot of people were saying about how we were the ones coming on and making it too accessible, too mainstream and stuff. And to be fair, that's probably quite true. You know, some of that is true. We were the ones kind of putting it out there on YouTube and making sure that people knew what it was and what Urbex was. And look at us, we can go to these amazing places. So I don't deny that I had a hand in that, and not only did I, but everyone else as well who's on YouTube currently. But at the same time, it's got to a point now where it's even worse, like, than it was back then. Like, back then there was a lot of people doing it and there was a lot of eyes on it, but now it's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's like everyone on their nan's doing it. It's ridiculous. To give you an example, when I sort of left YouTube sort of 6 months ago, there were Facebook pages that you could go to and you could like join, become a member. A lot of them worked on a trust system, so like if you wanted to share locations, they would be like, you know, I need to know who you are, be able to trust that you're not going to give out to 10,000 people. And we've gone completely the other way now. So we've got like Facebook pages that literally give out the pins. They will literally, you go on there, you don't need to have any kind of trust or anything like that. They literally give out on these posts the exact location with a link, sometimes with the longitude and latitude. Yeah, they're probably the shitter ones. It's a bit like oh god, I can't remember what it's called now. 28 days later website. It's probably a bit like that, where the worst places will get put out, and you know all the best ones will be held back. But even so, like, it's just so accessible now. I mean, I can imagine like one place goes up, that place is going to get hit hard for like 2 weeks, and then police are going to crack down on it. It's going to get sealed and stuff, and it's just like, it's a bit of a circus now. So Urbex is on a decline, regardless of whether it's reached its peak in popularity. The hobby itself and trying to be an urban explorer, as there's so much competition, there's so much, it's just insane. There's just so much going on at the moment that it's almost hard to do anything at all. Like we noticed last couple of years that places were getting harder and harder to get into, because you get a pin and you could go there the next day and it'd be sealed. And it was that quick, which never happened before. You know, we'd go to places that had been left abandoned for 10 years and no one had even touched it. You know, urban explorers may have been there, but they're all respectful, and they'd go there, wouldn't smash place up, wouldn't set fire to it, etc. And we've got a lot more of that now as well. People just destroying places and burning places and it's like, really? Why? Respect the places you go to. It's insane. But anyway, that's my rant over. It's too early in the morning to be doing too much of a rant. So like I said, the website, you've got the Tazer podcast, which, as you know, is on the 26th. And we've got Tazer Urbex series. So Tazer Urbex is still going to be a thing. All right? I know this channel is now called Tazer, and it is going to be a thing. But Tazer Urbex is going to sort of not take a back seat. It's still going to be a main part of this channel, but it's not going to be the only focus on this channel. I want it to be more of a series, which is kind of what it is anyway. Like, the abandoned stuff has always been a series, and I've always done other things, you know, like going on woodland roller coasters and going magnet fishing and stuff like that. And I know I pushed it all to the Big Taze channel, but I kind of want to bring it back again, so that this channel isn't just reliant on urban exploring content. I want it to be reliant on a range of stuff, and at the end of the day, you know, selfish as it might sound, this channel is about me. And I know that sounds horrible, but I don't want people using it as like a catalogue to just find abandoned places, because I feel like, again, that's a thing that's done as well. People don't watch the videos because they enjoy watching me. They watch the videos because they want to find out what the next latest urban exploration is. And I kind of want to move away from that. I want to sort of have it so that the people who come and watch the videos enjoy watching me, enjoy spending time with me, and that's it. You know, the whole point is to go back to it being fun and it not being like a chore, not being like competition with other urban explorers, and just having a laugh with it. And I'll explain a bit more about the podcast in a bit, because that's kind of where that comes from. Excuse me. Too much talking early in the morning. I haven't done as much talking in ages. Usually just sit in bed farting and doing all sorts of things. So yeah, today's podcast, Tazer Urbex series, and travel and adventure. So travel and adventure is kind of, at the moment, it's not really a thing on this channel, and I know it's not. Obviously travel costs money, and sort of adventures and stuff cost money, and that was kind of the angle I was going with Low Budget Chronicles when I decided to change that. Was I wanted to have these travel adventure sort of things where they were cool and amazing things, but like on a budget. So things like magnet fishing, orienteering, camping, etc. And I love all those things. I absolutely adore all those sort of outdoor activities. And it's the part of the reason that, if you've looked at the website, you'll notice there's a history on the channel, and it says in there part of the reason why I decided to go away from gaming, which is something I still love now. I still game like all the time, but you just don't see it on the channel anymore. But the reason I moved away from that was because I wanted to get out of the house and I wanted to do adventures and lose weight and stuff. And like urban exploring came along, and it was kind of like, yeah, I like doing this, and it's something that I can regularly do, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and there's lots of people doing it, which is something else that's also changed, I mentioned in that post. So travel and adventure is probably not going to be a main series, but it's something I want to start introducing, and as we get bigger and bigger, I'd like to do more and more of it. And it's something it's always been on the fringe of this channel. I've always wanted to do amazing stuff. I think I said in the post, or either on the website, I can't remember now, I've written so much recently, but I think I said that we were looking at doing a Scotland trip back in 2020, and also we were in talks about doing a Japan trip with a local tourism board for Japan. And again, that I was so excited, not because I'll look at the amazing and abandoned places I can go and explore, but because it's a bloody trip to Scotland and a trip to Japan. That's awesome. That's always been the exciting thing for me, and I want to sort of shift the focus, as well as doing urban exploring, to that. Like, it's a lot more like adventure travel, seeing things you ain't seen before. And I think that this audience that we've got on this channel would appreciate that kind of content. But obviously, like I said, it costs a lot of money, so it's like, it's a slowly catch your monkey. I want to try and introduce these bits bit by bit, but it's going to be a slow thing before we get some kind of like traction going. I know that when I first started urban exploring, it was a matter of just meeting channels and organising trips and stuff. I don't know anybody at all who does travel and adventure. I'd like to meet other people that do travel and adventure and make connections and stuff like that. And it's that kind of thing that takes a little bit of time to sort of get used to. We just check the chat, because I don't actually check the chat in a while. So Magnum, hi. That's a great name, by the way, Magnum. Good morning. Magnumus, hello. So that's a good thanks. Yeah. Cool, awesome. Before Christmas, I crashed my car looking for a car in stifling heat. Is not fun. Yeah, I don't drive, so I can't say I've ever experienced that. Something I want to change this year if I can as well. That's, again, it's money. It's all money. But learning to drive would be fantastic, because the amount of things I could get out and do, and explore and have adventures and stuff would be amazing. Hi Tazer, just joined. I'm hoping to watch the beginning of the stream later. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, this will be available anyway. Oops, I just whacked my mic. But yeah, so this channel was coming back, and it is coming back in roughly the same format, but there are other things that you'll see over time that will slowly be introduced. Like I said, like the Tazer podcast is going to be happening on the 26th of January. So if you are not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and get back into watching the videos. They're going to be up more and more soon, hopefully. I'm already starting to organise trips to go and exploring, so that is already in the works. Well, actually, I was about to say I don't have any videos filmed, but I do. I have been out once with Colin, and I do have a video, but it's not very good. I'll be honest, it's not very good, and I don't really want to put it up if it's going to be shit. So I might do. We'll see. I don't know. It might be a Tazer extra or something on the website. But yeah. So I do have stuff planned, and we're organising stuff and reconnecting with other people, because there's a lot of people. I think I mentioned this about 10 minutes ago, but a lot of the people that I used to explore with just don't do it anymore. But a few of those this year have started to decide they want to come back and do stuff. Like Warren, for example. You might remember Warren from way back in the day when we first started doing urban exploring, and he's had a kid since the last time he was on the channel, and I think he's had a divorce as well, actually, unfortunately. He has changed his life. He's lost loads of weight, actually. It's really good. You know, shout out to Warren, absolutely fantastic at the moment. And he's looking at getting back into exploring, but not on YouTube. Like he's interested in going out with us, but he wants to just do like photos and stuff, which is fair enough. You know, not everyone likes the videos. They are a lot of work and stuff. You feel like you've got to knock on my microphone. Feel like you've got to like proper be upbeat and stuff, whereas pictures you can just wander around. Even if you're half asleep, it's like take a picture. Oh, looks alright, yeah. Whereas obviously on camera you've got to be a bit like, yay, look at me, I'm so happy. So yeah, he's looking at coming back, and I know Neil wants to do stuff. I don't know about urban exploring, but I know he's been saying for ages he wants to come back and do stuff on YouTube. Oscar, I know wants to come back, but he's going through so much right now. I won't go into it, but he's not having a good time. And there's a few other people that are basically talking about coming back, and that's great, because this has been my main problem for the last year or so. You know, I've literally been out of Colin, and that's kind of about it, because no one else is really doing it. But Carl, you might remember Carl from maybe a year ago or so. I did a few places with him. Things like the engineer's home, abandoned home. What other places? I've done loads. I've done quite a few places with him. Off the top of my head, I can't remember where they are now. But yeah, so he's coming back, and so there's some stuff planned with him, or being planned with him currently. But yeah, the Tazer podcast. Anyway, so that's what I want to talk about. So if I actually go onto the page, you can see a bit on the where is it? Channel series. So again, look at the website. This is the new revamp of the website. I love this design. I've got a hoodie that has this design on it, and I was like, oh, a very similar design, and that's kind of why I was like, oh, I love that design. So I decided to sort of give it a revamp, back to the original logo, and we've now got on the website channel series as a drop down, and that gives you again those three down there, the three main channel series. That is what the channel is going to focus on. So we've got Tazer Podcast, Tazer Urbex, and Travel and Adventure. So if I go on the Tazer Podcast, you'll see on here, you get another pop up at the bottom, and the Tazer Podcast, and it says the Tazer Podcast is a fun monthly podcast with a unique concept. This podcast has a concept based on the popular TV show Would I Lie to You, but is done with a twist and in its own unique way. Which, if you've ever seen the show Would I Lie to You, the concept of that show is that there's a load of comedians, and they're all sat in teams, and they'll basically be put on the spot, and they've got to like tell 3 stories about themselves, and the other team have to guess which one's true and which one's a lie. And we've kind of gone down that route, but it's not the same. So I wanted to do something where every single time we do a podcast, it's unique, it's different, it's fresh, funny as well, and fun, but also like I don't want to have to try too hard with topics. So the idea is that every time we have a show, each guest who comes on, and I'm looking at reaching out to some old creators that I've spoken to as well. Like I've got Kim coming on the first one, who is a friend of mine from Sweden, and we used to be, well, we're still really good friends, but we were really, really close back in the day. Tazer started because of him, and me basically becoming a PC gaming community. Before that, we were a clan, as we were clan members in a Call of Duty clan as well. But he's from back in the day. You may remember him, you may not. Depends how long you've been following the channel. But he's coming on the first podcast, and we're going to just basically chat, and I'm going to have a few other people as well. Like I said, the idea is that each person who comes on thinks of 2 wacky, weird topics. You know, the crazier, the wackier, the better. And basically, we're not allowed to, we don't know what topics those people are going to bring to the table. So if you imagine, like, you know, the podcast, big circle, whatever, table, we're going to have 3 guests. Each person's going to have 2 topics. So that's going to be 6 topics between 3 people. We're not going to know what their topics are. They're not going to know what our topics are, etc. But the kicker is that those topics can be true. Like I said, the weirder, the wackier, the better, because they will make it harder to decide which ones are true and which ones are not. You can have one that's made up, or you can have both that are made up. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear at you guys. Both that are made up. So the kicker is you've got these two topics, but we don't know which ones are real, which ones aren't, and we're not allowed to use Google or the internet while we're at the podcast. So during the podcast, when those topics are brought up, we're not allowed to go and Google it and have a look. And if you're watching, try not to ruin it for like the people who are on it, because I know you guys can probably look on Google and put it in the chat. But don't ruin it, because it'd be more fun if you don't ruin it. So the idea is that we have these things. We've got to decide which ones are made up, which ones are true, and just have a bit of fun with it. So that's series 1, which is called Weird News or Is It? And like I said, it says down here on the thing. This round sees guests talking about weird stories from around the world. The twist being that some of the stories are completely made up, and that's basically the thing. So yeah, each person has 2 stories. None of them could be made up, or both could be made up, or just one could be made up. It's totally up to the person doing it. And I think that'd be a bit of fun trying to figure it out, and you guys can maybe sort of try and figure it out as well without using the internet. And then at the end of the podcast, each time we do it, we're going to do round 2, which is Tell Me a Story, which is more like the Would I Lie to You stuff. And it's each guest will tell a personal story from their past, and the audience must decide which one is telling fibs. Now, from your guys' point of view, we'll tell you 3 stories from me, somebody else, and somebody else, whoever the guests are, and you will have to decide who is telling the truth and who is lying based on what we tell you. But we will know who is telling fibs. So before the podcast starts, we'll go, right, at the end, the last Tell Me a Story round, who's going to be the one telling a lie, and we'll go into the podcast knowing at the end who's going to be telling a lie. So you guys in the audience watching will have to try and figure out who is telling a lie. And I think that'll be quite a fun concept. And think about it, every week it's going to be different, because if I have different guests and different stories, the discussion's going to be completely different every time you watch it. So I think that'd be quite interesting. Stop backing my microphone. But like I said, the first one of those is on the 26th of January. And if you've missed one, they'll obviously be available after on YouTube, but I'll also post them on the website here, so there'll be links to all the series with their episodes and numbers as well, so you can go from start to finish if you want to. And we're just going to have fun with it. Basically, that is it. I want to go back to bare bones, having fun making content, not worrying about competition. I don't give a damn about anyone else's channel. I really don't. There's so many people out there who just purely want to make so many views and money, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. I really don't. I'm too old for this crap. I'm like, my next big milestone is 40. I don't care. Who drinks Pepsi? Nice hat, cold inside. Saints Terror's Kim, by the way. He's going to be the first guest on the podcast I'm talking about. And yes, I drink Pepsi. I love Pepsi. Pepsi is my baby. Don't diss Pepsi. And I'm wearing a hat because my hair is a mess. I've got a lot more hair than I used to. Look, I've been growing my hair since the wedding, and I'm actually growing it quite long. Like, I mean, my idea is to have my hair like this and coming down, like a bit more emo style, to be honest. Long hair coming down. So I'm growing my hair, but it's an absolute state at the moment. So hence why I'm covering it with a hat. But yeah, so I think it's going to be fun. Like I said, the bare bones of the channel, I want it to be fun now. I want it to be eat less, you have... Oh, at least you have hair. I was like, eat less, you have hair? What? If you eat less, you have hair. At least you have hair. Yes, I do. I can't not have hair. My hair grows... This is why I've always shaved my head, because my hair grows through so thick. It's unbelievable. But yeah, so I just want to get back to the bare bones of the channel, with it being fun, of you guys coming, enjoying yourselves for an hour or whatever, and just... That's it. Like, I miss the days, even though exploring, when we used to go out with, like, Neil and Oscar, and I remember, like, Oscar being in a bathtub at an abandoned mansion and talking about having to tap up his butt, and me hiding in like an abandoned house and jumping out. And we used to do that all the time, and where they've dropped off, I feel like I don't know, I just feel like I'm making content for the sake of making content, and that's what I wanted to have a break from. And I feel like I needed that 6 months to sort of reevaluate and come back and go, do you know what, this is what's important on the channel. Yeah, views would be amazing, subscribers would be fantastic, but at the end of the day, I need to have fun with it. I need to enjoy doing it, and I feel like that's what was missing. So yeah, we're going to get back to doing that, I think, at some point. But yeah, if you've got a chance, check out the website. There's a lot on there. I have been updating it quite regularly, and that's what I'm currently doing as well. Like I said, I'm in the back house, or back end of the website, adjusting bits currently. So we've got like the home, which isn't, there's not very much actually landing page, and it's got like the different things that you can click at each of these buttons that will take you to those individual pages. YouTube is basically it will be for a place for putting like new videos when they come out, as well as the history about Tazer. So at the moment it's just the history. I won't bore you with reading this entire thing, but if you want to read the entire thing, go ahead. It's actually quite interesting. It's got bits about Kim, and there's obviously videos and stuff, some of them which are quite embarrassing because some of them are really, really old. So going from like the Team Deadeye, which again, if you read this, you'll understand who that is, going to the Call of Duty, going to when I did gaming, when I started doing outdoor adventures and stuff. Like there's actually a video there of my mum and my sister that I filmed when they jumped out of an aeroplane. So if you haven't seen that and you want to go see my mum and sister jump out of an aeroplane, go right ahead. I warn you, I'm much bigger than I am now. I know I'm not small by any means, but I was a lot chunkier then. And then it goes on to sort of like the urban exploring, explain how Tazer got started and stuff. And it's got the documentary that I did on my first ever explore, which goes through a lot of history, and the most recent Tazer rewind. I'll tell you what, actually, the hardest thing this year being off the channel was not making a Tazer rewind. I have not missed a Tazer rewind in 5 years, and it was tough. It was really tough to like not make one. So next year is going to be pretty epic. I'm telling you that now. I'm going to make quite a good one next year. So look out for that one. But yeah, I felt bad because I was like, I've not missed one in 5 years, and there's not going to be a Tazer rewind 2023 for the first time in 5 years. That's insane. So yeah, if you want to check that out, go ahead. There's quite a lot in there, and I'll be updating that as time goes on as well. What else have we got on here? Social medias, links to all the pages. You want to go to the YouTube channel, my TikTok, which is barely active, Facebook. We've got the Abandoned UK Facebook group as well, which I run. I do need to get back onto doing that because I have been taking time off that as well, so it's probably gone to shit while I've been gone. So yeah, if you want to jump on that, there's 22,000 members on that. It's an insane page. I can't believe that's got that big. Instagram, and then social media info. This is just basically what the channel has now. We've had over 1 million views on the channel now, which is insane. Can you believe that? 1 million views. I remember when we hit 1,000 subscribers, and I was just like, oh wow, this is amazing. I'm never going to get any higher than that. And we hit 10,000, and now we hit 1 million views. It's like, whew. And this is kind of why I'm reluctant to just give up the channel, because I spent so much time on this, just trying to build it, and it's like I don't want to just give it up. The TikTok, which I will be posting back on soon, I promise. Facebook page, like I said, it's got links to Facebook pages and the Abandoned UK group and Instagram, etc. Blah blah blah. And if you are at all interested, if you hit this button over here, the Tazer Media Productions, if you wish to check out my business page, this is my media productions videography page. If you didn't know, while I was off for the 6 months, I've been pushing to get this sort of videography stuff off the ground. I've done Halloween events and all sorts of stuff like that, and yeah, I'm looking to push that again more this year. So if you've got anyone who likes to have or wants to have video stuff done for their business or anything like that, hit me up. Even YouTubers, if you want to do YouTube videos or logos, I've done a ton of logos actually for people. Probably some of your favourite creators I've done logos for. Neil, I've made an Abandoned Explorer one, and I made a logo for him back in the day. Explore More, his logo I made. God, there's loads. There's quite a few. I can't even remember off the top of my head. There's so many. But, there was a car one as well. Was it? No, can't remember it. But I've done loads. There's probably some logos out there that you see that I actually was the one that made them. So things like logos and that. If you were interested, let me know. Yeah, based in Southampton. So if you're in the area or localish, then get in touch. Anyway, that's pretty much all I had to chat about, really. So it's not very long, but have you guys got any questions, guys that are watching? You got any questions about where the channel's going? You want to tell me about your Christmas? Whatever. What did you guys do for Christmas and New Year's? Did you have a good time? And so we actually spent the entire Christmas period with COVID, which was not fun. Christmas Day I had COVID, and I was just, yep, really not in the mood for Christmas. But it was still fun. We had a really good laugh. But while you guys are thinking on some questions, I'm going to carry on editing the website, because that's what I was going to do in the first place. I'm not doing the social media. No, that's the wrong page. That one. In fact, actually, while you're doing that, I'm going to quickly nip to the loo because I'm old and my bladder doesn't last for 5 seconds. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'm back. What we got? Kim, I went home to my roots and had a very nice dog sledding tour with my dad. Medicine for the soul was there. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to go back to spend time with family, isn't it? And we like I said, we couldn't really do that this year because we had COVID. So I remember my dad sort of saying, can I come and drop presents off and stuff? And I was like, no, unfortunately you can't, because if you do, you're going to get ill. And I know you're not supposed to you don't have to isolate anymore. It's a bit different, isn't it? But when you've got my dad, I know every Christmas he goes and sees my nan. So I was like, well, if I give you COVID and then you end up going to see my nan, that could be quite catastrophic. So I thought, nah, let's just leave it. Best not to risk anything and tempt fate. But yeah, it's it was fun. The kids ended up making Christmas meal because we didn't really have, like I said, we didn't have to get up and go. So I sort of overwatched them as they made the Christmas meal, which it was alright. It was fine. We'd previously been out for a Christmas meal anyway because we booked a table somewhere and went out for the first time in years. Like usually I'd cook every single year, but I thought no, we're gonna book a meal this year and see what happened. And it was quite nice. Sorry for every second. I'm just literally because I'm updating the social media pages. I'm just checking the stats that haven't changed. They probably haven't, let's be honest, but I just like to check anyway. No, that's the same. I know the Facebook's the same, Instagram's probably roughly the same. And see, when you become a creator, it's really sad. I have to admit, I know this is sad, but I've lost a follower on Instagram. Oh well. But every one of these numbers count. You're like, oh yeah, I've got to make sure that these are all accurate and up to date. I can't look like I've got not many. It's that's why it says 10,191. The 91 matters, all right? Don't take the mic. It matters. Every single one of you matters. But yeah, doing this page obviously for if companies want to sort of see what I can do, what kind of reach I've got. Companies reach out to me for bloody ages. Used to get games all the time when I worked as a YouTube gamer and that, but oh well. Actually, to be honest, I still get offered games sometimes now, and I'm like, what? That's why a few times on the channel back in the day you've seen gaming content, especially during COVID when I was sat at home not doing anything, and that's why I did House Flipper, because I get offered games sometimes. I think, well, I can't go out currently. Why not? Jump on a stream like this and just have a bit of relaxed, fun time. Ooh. Shouldn't have had that drink, because I'll need a wee again in a minute. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I've pretty much gone through most of the stuff I wanted to on the channel. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. What did I post about in that latest? Let me turn this off so you guys don't need to be seeing my screen. Just put the lovely animation I made in the background. There we go. Just trying to think, because I want to go through the points that I talked about on the YouTube channel. I did that big post. Because I feel like those are quite important. I spent quite a lot of time writing that, and I know a lot of people have been sort of worrying I wasn't going to come back. And, you know, I was always going to come back. It just depended on what capacity I was going to come back on. So, let's read this a second. Yeah, so I was conflicted with the channel, and I've kind of sort of resolved that a bit. Like, I'm still unsure. I have to admit, I'm still unsure about where I want to go with this channel. Like, I know urban exploring is probably the easiest thing to go back and do, and this is the thing. Like, for me, I love to explore and do urban exploring. I know that it would be so easy to switch this back to Tazer Urbex and just carry on doing what I was doing. But it's been 6 months, and I've had that kind of cushion now from like back when I was doing it regularly, how it felt, and I know that back then I was really disappointed with the fact that I'd been on 2 trips to France and Belgium and done some amazing places, and the views were just going down and down and down and down. And as much as it would be so easy to go back and just do that, and the views might go up again, you know, whatever, I'll probably just continue to peter along as I was doing before. And in truth, that's absolutely fine as long as I'm having fun doing it. And that's why now I'm kind of focused on, like, yes, we're still going to do that, but I want to do other things too. And I want to sort of break the niche of it's just an urban exploring channel. There's urban exploring on this channel, yes, as a series, but there's also other things that happen as well. And like I said, if you guys don't enjoy watching me, you don't enjoy talking to me and having conversations with me, there's not really much point in watching, because like, as much as the places are going to be amazing, you might enjoy watching the certain places, I also want you to enjoy me. You know, I am the you in YouTube. That's the whole point. It's all got to whack my chin on that. That's the whole point. You know, it's got to be a place for you guys to come and enjoy watching me, but also the content as well. And you know me, I push my content as much as possible. I'll try and make it as best as I possibly can. But at the end of the day, I can have the most amazing videos in the world, and if you don't like watching me, then there's really no point. And I feel like that's where we've got to with the channel, is like, you know, I don't think I'm ever going to be a superstar on YouTube. I think it's a pipe dream that would be nice, but I think it's more important now, especially as I'm getting older, to just enjoy doing what I'm doing, and that's kind of the point of reeling it back and still doing those things that you guys enjoy, but being a bit more selfish with what I post and doing stuff that I enjoy too. So if people enjoy it, then people enjoy it, and I always hope that if you can see I'm having fun, you will too. It's simple as that. I just didn't have a problem staying here during the lockdown. Can't really relate to people having a meltdown about it. Well, Kim, you do kind of live in the middle of nowhere. Well, not you personally, but your family live in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, you probably did have a less of an issue with COVID. But I mean, I have to admit, I kind of agree with you, because like, I didn't see the big hype about it. I understand that there's people out there that died from it, but I never saw that personally, and you can only sort of go by your own experiences. And for me, I've had COVID twice now, and it was a bad cold. That's kind of all I can describe it as. It wasn't as horrendous as I thought it was going to be, but that doesn't mean it wasn't for other people. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, so I talked a bit about, like I said, the other people who are busy doing stuff. Colin is so busy at the moment. Like, I haven't seen, when did I see it? Last time I saw Colin actually was just after the wedding, so probably November, I think. But previous to that, I saw him at the wedding. Obviously, it was in October, and then previous to that, I hadn't seen him since January. So that gives you an idea. You know, I've this year I've explored with Colin in January, and I explored with Colin in November, and that's it. You know, I've barely seen him since then. So it's tough. It's really tough to sort of try and keep this going when there's like nobody else doing it. And Neil, I haven't. I saw him at the wedding, and before that, I saw him. Well, he said it'd been 2 years. I didn't think it'd been 2 years, but apparently it has been 2 years since I saw him. So that's what I mean. It's like it's so difficult to sort of get out and do things when there's no one else doing it. And Oscar, obviously, saw at the wedding. Previous to that, apart from him trying his suit and stuff on for the wedding, I hadn't been to explore with him in ages. And obviously that's because he's got other things going on. And obviously I went out with last year, and that was kind of it. Apart from, he was at the wedding as well. But yeah, I haven't seen him since. But he lives further up north now. He's moved like further up north. So it's really tough to sort of, you know, if I don't drive, I don't go out with people, then I can't make videos. It's as simple as that. So I am looking at this year, reaching out to more people and sort of like trying to get channels on board. So if you guys know of any channels, preferably ones in the south coast of England who are like more local to me, then get in touch with them. Put me onto them, you know, tell me what their names are and I'll get in contact with them. Or you can message them and say, you know, Tazer's looking for like people to go exploring with this year. Go ahead and message him, whatever. I don't know. Like I said, it used to be back in the day, I'd message people and be like, you know, how are you doing? You know, this is my channel, blah 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 blah. People aren't interested anymore. Like people just aren't interested anymore. It's really weird. Like I said, back in the day, you get someone go, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to meet up. Nowadays, you just get ignored, or someone will message back going, oh no, so I don't explore people I don't know, and it's like, are you serious? Like. How do you get to know people unless you meet them or chat to them? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So a lot of bad things as far as the actual virus. Many of my friends are like me, bad immune system, so it was kind of bad. Just didn't see why people were losing their minds because they ... That's a bit obvious. I think it was different for everyone, especially where like Kim, you're in a very cold country. Excuse me, you're a very cold country, so you'll probably find it spreads a lot slower. I know that people think, oh, well, cold weathers mean viruses, etc. But when it's extreme cold, and bear in mind where Kim is currently, I don't know if it still is, but for the last week or so, it was like -30. I feel like viruses would probably have quite a problem trying to sort of move through that environment. It would be quite difficult. And stay at home as people so starved for attention they can't stay the fuck home alone. Yeah, cold. Only -36°C last week. Yeah, only. I think the coldest I've seen it here is about -1, -2. It's never that cold. Okay. But yeah, so this year is going to be pushing that sort of stuff. But like I said, you know, I'm looking at doing other things and bringing it back to bare bones and having fun with it. That's be all and end all. That should be what this channel is. I should have fun. You guys should have fun. That should be the reason you want to keep coming back and watching stuff. So yeah, we'll just go with that, I guess. Like I said, if you guys have got any questions or anything you want to sort of say, please do ask. You know, whether it's reaching out to me on Instagram or whatever. I've always prided myself on like interacting with the audience. So if you guys have got questions, leave them in the comments. Leave on the community tab, go into DMs, message me, whatever. I'll happily answer questions and stuff. And if you guys want to reach out, and Out with Butler's not on here at the moment, but Out with Butler is somebody I wanted to sort of meet up with for a while. He's been a viewer on this channel, and I know that he's doing very well on YouTube at the moment. His channel has been going up quite big. So if people like that have been watching the channel for a while want to get in touch and we can do something, then go for it. I'm open to ideas, and whether that's on the Urbex side of things or the adventure side of things. If you know someone who's got like an adventure playground or whatever, or goes canoeing or has a canal boat or something, I don't know, whatever, I'm up for anything. Canal boats, talking of canal boats, actually, it's something I wanted to do for a while. I've always loved the idea, and again, this is money. I'd love to do this, but it's going to cost a lot. But going on a canal boat and just hiring a canal boat for like a week and spending a week and vlogging that, I think would be so much fun. I love boats, and canal boats are just brilliant. Always remind me of Rosie and Jim back in the day. Sarah Bell, how's it going? You alright? I've got to move this microphone back. It keeps ending up under my chin. That's pretty better. It probably sounds better as well. Where if I'm over it like this, you're not going to hear a thing. But yeah, like, you know, what do you guys think? Like, at the end of the day, like, do you feel like the Urbex side of things has changed? Do you think that like channels are different to what they were a couple of years ago. Because, like, in my opinion, there's just so much competition when it comes to sort of Urbex now that it's like near on impossible to get noticed unless you get like a viral video, which I've never had. Like, I've had videos that have done reasonably well, but over time, I've never had a video that's gone boom and then just exploded in like 24 hours. Mine tend to sort of do. I've got like, I think my most viewed one is like 200,000, but that's been over years. I haven't just gained that all of a sudden. That's like over years. Yeah, 195k, which is the Britain's largest theme park. But that's in 6 years. And then next it's like the MG Motors factory, which is again 6 years, and that's 60,000 views. It's this. It just takes time. It's such a long process now. Since Tara, you have to have a segment in your podcast to reconnect with old mates or old YouTubers. That much. Well, this is the point of the podcast, because the podcast is like, it's almost like neutral ground. It's not urban exploring, so I can pretty much have anybody on there. It doesn't matter. And it's not on particular subjects either. It's like a topic based on whatever the people who are on the podcast bring with them. I'm still hitting my microphone, giant thing. But, the idea is that each week it could be a completely different topic. I mean, I could have. I mean, back in the day, you guys probably know who Gerald Undone is. You might know who he is. I don't know. But I interviewed him back in the day when he had about 2,000 subs. I'd love to get him back on again because he's got 400,000 now. That'd be insane just to sort of see how far he's grown. But I'd love to reconnect with people like that, and people that I've spoken to years ago from the gaming side of things, from the Urbex side of things, and just get them back on and just have a bit of a laugh. Like I said, it is neutral ground. It's like one of those places that you don't need to be an explorer, you don't need to be a travel adventurer, you don't need to be a gamer or anything. You can just come on and have fun with it because the concept is open to everybody, and that's the purpose. I mean, I know we've got people who've just joined, so I'll go through again. If you haven't seen what the new podcast is, go on the website. Okay. Oh, well, if you can't see the screen, can you? Hang on. There we go. So you can see the screen. That's the website. And I'll just go through the podcast concept again, just so if you've just joined, you are up to date with it. But the podcast concept is a bit like the TV show Would I Lie to You, if you guys have ever seen that. It's got a load of the comedians on 2 teams, and the idea is that each person gets they've got like 3 different stories about themselves. And the idea is that the other team have to guess which one's made up and which one's the truth, or which ones are the truth. And we've got that concept, but then kind of twisted it a little bit. So the idea is that each week, I mean, say for example, I had Kim and Neil on the podcast. So that's 3 of us. So if Kim comes up with 2 podcasts, 2 topics. Neil comes up with 2 topics. I come up with 2 topics. That's 6 topics between us. And the weirder and the wackiest will be the best. You know, we want them to be crazy, outlandish, ones that you think, oh, that can't be true. Because the whole point is to make it difficult to know which ones are true, which ones are real. And the kicker is that each person can decide out of their topics if none are made up, one is made up, or both are made up. But they have to sell them to us as if they are real. And I think that would be a really interesting concept. And fun as well, because again, if you're talking wacky subjects, you could go really outlandish and nuts with this. And I think that'd be quite a funny concept to talk about, and we've got to try and figure out who's telling the truth and who's lying. And at the end, so that's round 1, and that's called Weird News or Is It? And round 2 is going to be called Tell Me a Story. So before the podcast starts, the people who are involved, so again, if it was me, Kim, and Neil, we'd have discussed before the podcast starts in this final round who's going to be telling a lie and who's going to be telling the truth. So one of us would be lying and then the other 2 would be telling the truth. And at the very end, we'll all tell a story about ourselves that hopefully comes across as real, but one of them will be made up. And you guys in the audience have to figure out who's telling the truth and who's lying. And it's just a bit of fun. It's a bit like a game show. It's a bit of, you know, there's no real points, there's no real prizes or anything at the end of it, but it's just a good way of starting up a conversation, having a chat, having a laugh, having a few jokes, maybe sit there and have a couple of drinks and stuff, and just have fun with it. And that's the whole concept. And like I said, it's open to everybody. Anybody who's, you know, ever seen that show will know what we're talking about, you know, and you can come and join and be part of the podcast without actually needing to know anything about Urbex or needing to know anything about adventure travel. It is completely open for anybody who wants to join. The first episode of that will be out on the 26th of January. It will be live. It's not going to be recorded and then posted. It'll be live, and which means you guys can interact with us on the show as well. And it'll be at 7 p.m. British Standard Time, so GMT, BST, and it will go on for somewhere between 60 to 90 minutes. So yeah, just come along, see what it's like. I mean, I don't know how well the first one's going to turn out. We might have to like tweak the formula, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it turns out. I think it will work, but yeah, just play it by ear and see what happens. We've got a few new people join us as well, so hello if you've just joined. Feel free to say hi in the comments and ask any questions you want to. We're just talking about Tazer and where we're going from here, and the podcast and things like that, and urban exploring. If you've just joined us, you've missed out on quite a bit. We're about 50 minutes into the podcast now. No, it's the podcast. Oh, for God's sake, my brain's not working today. It's 21 into the live stream, and we've talked about quite a lot so far. So if you get a chance to go back and look at this afterwards, please do. Is this going to go on YouTube? Yes. So it will be live on YouTube, and the episodes will be available afterwards as well on YouTube. But if you are ever stuck and you've ever think you've missed some episodes and stuff, I highly recommend checking out the website, because the website's kind of where I like to tie everything together. So everything that's on Facebook, everything that's Instagram, TikTok and stuff, all in one place, so it's easy to sort of digest. So on this page you'll see on the website, as well as them being on YouTube, there will be a playlist at the bottom of where it says here, episodes start Friday 26th January. Just under that, where it says new episodes last Friday of every month, just under that will be a playlist of all the episodes that have been released already in their YouTube players, so you'll be able to watch them on there as well. There won't be cameras involved. It will be pretty much like this. If I turn these off, that and that, you'll pretty much see the entire thing, but you'll hear our voices throughout. It's not. Part of that is because also seeing our face might give away the fact that we're lying, but it's meant to be more of a listening podcast. So if you get a chance and you don't get to watch it when it's live, feel free to like stick it on in the background, stick headphones on while you're doing something else, doing washing up, doing homework, whatever. I don't care. It'll just be a bit of a laugh, and hopefully you enjoy it. But yes, they will be available on YouTube, because they will be going live on YouTube 7 p.m. GMT British Standard Time on the 26th. And like I said on the website, it's every last Friday of the month. So if I actually look at the thing, 1 second, turn the camera back on. There we go. So yeah, like I said at the bottom, new episodes last Friday of every month. So this month's one is the 26th, and next month's one will be the 23rd. So yeah, just need to keep an eye on whatever the last Friday of the month is before it changes to the next month. That's when the podcast will be, and then the month after that it will be the 29th. So yeah, it will change each month, but as long as you know it's the last Friday of every month, you won't go wrong. Right, get back to that. But yeah, you guys got any questions? Well, I'm going to head off in a minute because it's been nearly an hour. So about 7 minutes I'm going to head off. So if you've got any questions last minute you want to ask, then please feel free to do so. But yeah, hope you guys, like I said, have a good Christmas. Hope you're glad to see that I'm back. There once is a young fella called Tazer. There once as a young fella called Tazer. There once was a young fella called Tazer. He's now pretty bloody old now. If you put it in perspective, oh God, I'm doing this the wrong way around now. The label's here. If you put this into perspective, like I've been doing this channel since, well, this channel since 2014. So this is 10 years. This channel has been up for 10 years. I think in March is the 10-year anniversary of this channel. And before that, I was doing YouTube from about 2011. So I've been on the platform for about 13 years now. So I'm 36 at the moment. So I've been on this since I was 23. 23. It's like a long time ago. A very long time ago. There once, I think it's meant to say was, a young fella called Tazer. He carved out a spoon with a laser. I think you must have the same keyboard I used to have, because the W key don't work. I sub you and Neil, so I'm sure I will get notified. Yeah, but we'll make sure if you haven't got notifications turned on, make sure you do just double check they're all turned on, and all notifications are checked always, because you know what YouTube's like, it's bloody crap at telling you when stuff goes on. But I'll be reminding people anyway on Instagram and on posts on the community tab and things. So keep an eye out for that. You know, there will be notifications just reminding you, like, we're going live tomorrow, we're going live in an hour, etc., that kind of thing. Buggy my W. I've just changed my keyboard because my keyboard had the same issue. The W key, the M key for some reason. But yeah, a few of the keys were just like not working. So I've just changed, but I've got a new one now. I've got one of them clicky mechanical ones. I press stuff. Look, such a satisfying sound. Drink far too much Pepsi. I really do. Right, like I said, about 4.5 minutes. I'm going to call it a day. So last minute questions. If you've got anything you want to ask now or say, like I said, how's your guys' Christmas? I had COVID, so it wasn't that fun, but hope you guys had a good Christmas and a good New Year's. And I'm looking forward to more Tazer content coming out very soon. My music's still going. I don't actually know. Hopefully it's been half decent music. I literally just put this. This is like a 12 hours of copyright-free music for live streams, and I was like, I don't know what this could be good, it could be bad. So it's just like being awful music in the background. I do apologise, but I didn't vet it beforehand. Just chucked it on. Come on, we've got 6 people watching at the moment. There must be someone here wanting to say something in the chat. Say hello. Or bye, because I'm going in a minute. I'll tell you what, let me ask you guys a question for the last few minutes. What would you guys, and if you're watching this later on, please feel free to write this in the comments as well. What would you guys like to see on this channel? And I'm not talking about like anything specific. You don't have to go like, I want to see you go to this abandoned location or whatever. Is there anything that you'd like to see, or you think that I would do well at? Because most of you guys have watched me for a long time. You'll know what I'm like. Is there any specific you'd like to see in terms of genres on this channel? Like, what would you like to see going forward with this? Like, do you like the idea of the podcast? Do you like the idea of travel and tourism? Is there anything you could think about travel and tourism that I could do, or any other creators I could link up with from travel and tourism? Anything. Like, give us feedback. I've always craved information, so anything you can give me in terms of feedback would be fantastic. I try and, like, as you guys know, I've asked your guys' opinion in the past and thought about what you've said, and I've tried to take those on board. So anything you can give me in terms of information would be fantastic. It's, at the end of the day, it's a community channel. Yes, like I said, I need to be able to enjoy doing this channel myself, but at the same time, like, I'd like you guys to enjoy it as well. So I'm not just going to start going. I'm not going to go like, oh, I like pictures of feet, so I'm going to start posting pictures of feet, and then that's going to be my entire content. And I don't care if you like it because I like feet. As an example, I don't like feet, but as an example, you know, I'm not just going to start making stuff just because I like it, regardless of whether you guys like it or not. I want to sort of still keep you guys in the loop. But at the end of the day, if it's not something I'm going to enjoy, then I'm going to do it. That's what I mean. Okay, a sec. Just check my phone. That's actually not a bad shout. I have thought about doing that for a while. You have to do, yeah. So Kim said, in my personal mind, have you tried reading your own book? That might be kind of cool. And if you guys didn't know, I have written a book. It's not very good or very popular, but you know, it is. I have got a book that's written, and I did think about. I think if I was to do that though, like, I wouldn't do it like live. I'd like to do it recorded, like an audio book, and then release that. That would be good. And he said you've got to do the voices as well. And I'm like, really? I'm not good at voices. But yeah, that would be quite good. I have toyed with that idea for a long time, and the book that it was available up till a little while ago on Amazon, and it's not available anymore because I took it off. I think purely because I wanted to sort of redesign it and stuff, and I think I lost the login details to repost it back on there now. So yeah, doing an audiobook of it might be an option at some point. I would love to do that. It's just a lot of work, but I think that would also be more fun if I could get other people involved to do voices as well. I think that would be good fun. Thank God, no feet. They are gross. Yeah, no, I was joking. No, I'm not actually into feet. No, do a proper recording and release them as podcasts. Really, yeah, this I'd like to do that. I would like to do that, but I think, like I said, I think it would be better because I've got enough YouTube friends. Come on, I've got enough YouTube friends. I could get like people doing voices and stuff. I reckon it would be quite fun to do that as like a collaborative thing, get everyone on board and do a bit of recording. Plus, it would cut down the amount of work I've got to do if I could get everyone to like do certain lines and things. I think I'd be better as like the narration per side of things, but the actual characters would be quite good. Oh yes, do your book. You own it's copyright after all. Yeah, this is it. I mean, I could do the book. The problem is that like the book was always like this sounds really sad, but like the book was always planned to be a series. So the first book ends in a way that leaves the second book open, and I haven't got a second book. Like I did start writing it years ago, so I know that if I do that and then it gets popular, people are going to want to see a second book. I just don't have time to write one anymore. It could take me 10 years to write the first one, so God knows. I mean, I suppose if it makes enough money, I could give up my job and do it. But I don't know. You know, that would be cool if it took off. But then at the same time, I'd be like, oh, now I've got to write another one. One chapter is one episode of the podcast, and several people might be fun as well. Yeah, see that I would probably have to break it down into that, but they're quite short chapters. They're not particularly long, so they might not be that very long. But yeah, that's probably the easiest way of doing it. It's very per chapter. Do you want me to go and get the book so you guys can see it? Like I know that Kim's probably seen it. We've got a copy of it somewhere. Not for hand, but somewhere. But if you want to see the book, I can go and grab it. I do have a physical copy of it. What's that say? Now you have no option then to write it. To quote Mr. Clarkson, how hard can it be? Well, I know how hard it could be. It took me 10 years. It took me a long time. But yeah, if you want me to go and copy it, I'll go grab it. I think there's one downstairs, I'm sure there is. And you can just see it. Just turn the pages. I mean, it's super lazy, but like, page 1, page 2, enjoy. You can make it your own voices in your head. I'll tell you what I read the other day. Well, I said read. I listened to for the first time ever. Is that Cursed Child? Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I've had it for a long time, but I can't read it because it's like screenplay format, and I find it really difficult to get invested in it. So I found an audiobook online that someone had done themselves, and listened to it that way. It was actually quite good. I'm still waiting for my copy of it, by the way. I do have the digital copy still. Yeah, I don't have a copy because, like I said, I would order you one, Kim, but obviously it's not on Amazon anymore, and I've lost the login details to get it back on Amazon. Yeah, I could set up another account and do it that way. There might be some legality issues with that though, because they might think it's somebody else trying to post the same book, even though it's the same person, just on 2 different accounts. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I do have copies of it at home, and obviously, if you've got the digital copy, that's awesome. Have you read it though? Have you read the digital copy? Like, I know lots of people that have got copies of it, but they've never read it. So I'd be curious to find out if you have. But yeah, if I could get it back online, that would be quite cool. I'd be able to send you a copy. I know I'm still planning on sending you a food parcel at some point, but at the moment it's like still reeling from Christmas and the expense of that. I'm trying to sort of save a bit of cash. Plus, my job's just about to change now, so I was getting paid weekly, so I'm going from weekly to monthly. So I'm going to have a bit of a down period where I have no money at all. So I'm trying to prepare for that as well. Pretty sure I have read it. Pretty sure isn't that I have read it. That's like I think I read it. So obviously wasn't very memorable, was it? But like I said at the time when you bought it, no refunds. You bought it now. It's yours. Enjoy or not. Right, anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day there because there's not too much else to say, is there? What you just sign a copy for me so I can have it when you are famous? Should be great a long time. I think I'm going to, if I'm ever famous, I'm going to be like them artists that only get famous after they die. It's going to take me to be dead for me to be famous, and it's like, great. So I don't think I'm going to get there soon. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to call it there because I've said everything I need to, I think. Like I said, if you're watching this back later, please leave comments down below and feedback and stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on the 26th. Put it in your diaries, put notifications on. I will be posting a, like, you know, we can do like a scheduled live stream at some point soon, so keep an eye out for that, because you'll be able to click on that and do notifications. So yeah, won't be long, and you'll be back. I'll be back on here properly making videos and stuff. So 26th is pretty much the starting point, and after that I'm going to try and get some videos in, some explores and some other things as well. So keep an eye out. But like I said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good Christmas and a good New Year's, and I will see you later on. Bye.